Target date funds, or lifecycle funds, are one of the most popular investment types in America today. In this video, we'll look at the pros and cons of target date funds so you can decide if they're right for you. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time. My name is Jay, and on this channel I give you all the tools, the tips, and the tricks that you need to get the most out of your money. Now today, you might have noticed there's a certain excitement in there, a buzz in the crowd. You're here for the inaugural, the first time ever, the world premiere of 5 Minute Friday. In this video series, I'll be taking different investment topics, breaking them down and explaining them in 5 minutes or less. But before we get into it, I need a favor from you. I need you to smash that like button right down there, make it turn blue. It tells YouTube that this video is worth watching, tells YouTube it's worth showing to other people. It really helps out the channel. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. With that said, let's put 5 minutes on the clock, right somewhere down there. All right, so to start things off, let's look at the pros, the benefits of target date funds. First and foremost, they're simple. It's a one-stop shop for a diversified portfolio. You just go, you find the target date fund that matches your chosen date of retirement, whether it's 2055 or 2032, whenever is closest to you think you're gonna retire, you pick that fund, the fund automatically rebalances its mix of stocks and bonds. As you get closer to that date, it does everything for you. So it's simple. If you don't want to be constantly messing around with your investments, target date funds are a good choice for you. Along those same lines, another pro of target date funds is it's hands-off. You pick the fund you want, you just keep investing the money into that fund, and that's all you'll ever have to do. You never have to go in, you don't have to worry about rebalancing, you don't have to worry about whether you have too much in stocks or too much in bonds or whatever the market is doing. The fund does all that for you, like I just mentioned. In an earlier video, we talked about finding your asset allocation, where you figure out your risk tolerance, your appetite for stocks and bonds, and etc. And you develop your own different investments according to that strategy. Well, if you don't want to do any of that, go with a target date fund. Target date fund is pre-mixed, so if you have a target date 2055 retirement fund, it will already be mixed with the appropriate level of stocks and bonds for someone who's going to retire that far into the future. The third benefit to a target date fund is it forces you to stick to a strategy. Now, a lot of people, when the stock market is going way up or stock market's going way down, you get tempted to either buy a lot more stocks or sell off your stocks and go to bonds. You kind of panic based on the current mood of the market. That is the surest way to lose money. So with a target date fund, you're locked into the strategy that the fund has pre-chosen. You can't be buying and selling stocks inside the fund. It's a chosen strategy. So if you're gonna have trouble being tempted to rush all into stocks when the market is skyrocketing, or if the market starts to fall, we go into a recession and you're gonna start to panic about all the money you're losing on paper and wanna sell at the bottom, you don't have to worry about that with a target date fund. They'll take care of it for you. They force you to stick to a strategy. But target date funds also have a lot of cons. First and foremost, as it's a one-size-fits-all kind of solution. Like I've mentioned many other times on this channel, we're all individuals. The investing strategy that might work for me might be totally wrong for you, and what's right for you might be totally wrong for someone else. With a target date fund, they kind of assume that everyone who plans to retire on the same year for that fund is going to be okay with the same strategy. So if you and I both choose a target date 2055 fund, I may be perfectly fine with its current mix of 80% stocks and 20% bonds. But that might be way too aggressive, and the swings of that fund might give you heart palpitations. So while it's an easy, simple solution, it is a one-stop shop, one-size-fits-all kind of solution, and that's not always the best solution for everybody. Second con we run into with target date funds are the fees. fees are one of the greatest ways to eat away at your returns in the investing world. Thankfully, with more brokerages going commission-free like Robinhood and Ameritrade and Schwab and the others, we don't have to worry about that when we're buying and selling stocks anymore. But when we hold ETFs or we hold mutual funds, there's always fees associated with those. And because a target date fund is more actively managed than a traditional index fund, because you actually have a fund manager who's buying and selling investments within that fund to keep the allocations and the ratios set to the fund strategy, they're going to charge you, the investor, higher fees for that service. So while it's simpler and it's easier, you do pay for that convenience compared to picking your own funds. And finally, not every target date fund is the same. If you look at target date funds with the same target years from different providers, say you look at one from Vanguard, you look at one from Fidelity, you look at one from Schwab, they could be totally different in the ways they're invested. So you still do have to do some research up front to find the one that's best for you. Now, if you're investing in your 401k, you may not have much of a choice because you only have certain limited options. And target date funds are extremely popular as 401k investments. But if you're investing in a Roth IRA or traditional IRA or another kind of vehicle where you have more control over it, you can look at the target date retirement fund options from different providers, see how they're invested within the details, and pick the one that's right for you. And then after that, all you have to do is keep contributing money, sit back and relax. So there are the pros and cons of target date funds. They're great if you want to be hands-off with your investments, you don't want to put too much thinking, you don't want to have to deal with your investments a lot, you just want to set it and forget it and worry about other important things. If you're the kind of person that likes tinkering with your investments, you think you like to be a little more hands-on, have a little more control over things, target date funds, probably not for you. Now, did I make it in the 5 minutes? Oh, I guess I went over the time. I'll have to do better next time. This is the first one. We're working out the kinks. Next time, that 5 minutes is mine. But if you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this video is worth showing to other people. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new video every week. Also, if you could, give me a follow on Instagram. My handle is somewhere down here at the bottom of the screen. I give real-time thoughts on things that are going on in the stock market, in the business world. I make fun of things, tell a few jokes. They don't always land, as I'm sure you're familiar with if you've watched any of my other videos. But go give me a follow there. We can connect. Send me your thoughts on what topic you want covered in future videos. And that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Okay, I hope I hit the time limit because I liked my spiel after that better. But whatever, they work. I feel like I probably hit the 5 minutes. I flew through that. So, did I cover everything I wanted to cover? Yeah, and I guess I don't even need those other things on the screen, so.